Hey everyone, DarkDragoon here with Season 2, Episode 12 of my FTB Modpack Let's Play. So I'm right back here at our compressor, thanks to GregTech, compressing up some iron into iron blocks. And the reason for this will be very clear very soon. I believe it should be safe to do this out on our factory floor over here. I know that's probably somewhat disheartening when I say it should be safe to do this. Stone isn't burnable, so we should be okay. So we got one block of iron. I'm going to go ahead and make probably two. I think that'll do. Because we're going to use our Wrath Igniter to make ourselves something called dark iron. The interesting thing about factorization, it's got sort of a strange and bizarre mix of sort of a tech mod and sort of a kind of pseudo magical mod, so it's kind of hard to describe, but it's definitely cool. So we got ourselves a couple blocks of iron, right? Just 9 iron compressed into a gigantic brick. So if we take our Wrath Igniter and we pop it on there, you can see some red starts to rise up, and within a couple moments it should ignite the other brick, and it does. And within a few seconds something cool will happen. There we go. Did you catch that? And then once it's done, I think it'll start igniting fires all around it, but yep, there it goes. That's our cue that it is finished. Cool, right? Obviously if we had done this outside on grass, it would create a gigantic forest fire, but we didn't want that. So if we mine up our dark iron blocks here, you can see we have blocks of dark iron, and we can just stick them in our crafting block and pull out dark iron ingots, and we get 4 per block. Cool, right? So we're going to take this dark iron and we're going to grab a bit of glass panes, because we're going to make a cool item that is going to be really useful and look really cool in that thing that I was alluding to constantly last episode. So the item we're going to make is something called a Wrath Lamp. So you can see, obviously, here's the recipe. It needs a Wrath Igniter. It does not actually consume this, but it will cause it to take a little bit of damage. And we need some silver. So we're going to make probably 2 of these, I think. So let's find our silver. We're going to need 2 per, so there we go. And that should be everything. It is. Cool. So let's just pop this right in here, like so, and then this should be something like this, and Wrath Igniter in the middle gives us 1, 2 Wrath Lamps. And like I said, still keep our Wrath Igniter, but it does take quite a bit of damage. So now that that's done, I'm going to stash away some of this stuff, except before we go, we are going to make something. Because we're going to need, well, we're going to make 2 things, actually. Let's see here. We're going to need we're going to need a gold nugget. We're going to need a stick. Actually, I'm not sure if it's a nugget or a bar. I'll look into that. I'll just take both, just in case. And we're going to need a crystal, I believe of any type, but we're going to take the V shard. And I'm going to save that for when we get there. Just got to make sure that I have everything. Okay, and then there's one other bit of business to do before we go a-wandering. I'm going to kill off a bit of our herd. And the spider as well, because it displeases us. Okay, got ourselves some leather. And we're just going to pop in here. I don't think we have 3 pieces of paper. I think our insanity with making crazy stamp packets caused us to be out of paper. So we're just going to make actually we're going to make more than that, because we're going to need 3 books. So I didn't kill enough cows. Come on. Give me your delicious leather. Also, oh, it's horrible going in here. It sounds horrible too. Constant mooing. I'm gonna have nightmares about that. Okay, so now that I actually have the proper number of materials I need, we're going to make more paper than that. Seriously? I only took out enough to make 3, didn't I? Derp. Okay. So, a couple sheets of paper, like so, and some leather. Give us 3 books. And then we're going to take those books, and we're going to make ourselves a bookshelf. And that's coming with us as well. Alright, I believe we have everything we need. So, yeah, my inventory is a little cluttered with random junk, but let's go. No. I'm probably going to regret not bringing a bed with me, but you can definitely see something has changed since the last, well, not last episode, but the episode before last. There's a road leading off in this direction, so we're going to follow it, and we're going to find, well, that thing that I was sort of teasing you guys with all last episode. So, I'm just going to wander through. You can definitely see I've done quite a bit of creative work. I mostly like to do this stuff off camera because, while it's cool to show you guys, building it takes hours and hours of work. So, yeah, I don't think you guys want to see me spend a couple hours building something cool looking. I'd much rather use the time on camera to show you guys mods and other cool stuff. So, what is that in the distance, you might ask? Well, you're about to see. We're going to travel through the mushroom tunnel, which I had marked on Ray's minimap. And purposely left all those mushrooms there. So here we are. This is the thing that I was working on. It's not quite done. There's lots of stuff I still want to do to it. But just to make it look nicer. But for now, it'll do the trick of sort of what we want it to do. This is going to be where we're going to start a bit of this. So we already have this here. I'm going to go ahead and there we go. Do our first Thaumcraft item. Ooh. It's going to be a Wand of the Apprentice. Pretty much make it with, it was a gold nugget after all. The second we put it into our inventory, you'll see its meter fills up. It is drawing its power from the surrounding vis in the area. And there should be quite a bit here because this is a great wood tree. And it's sort of sitting in the middle of this weird caldera crater thing, and I thought that looked cool, so this is where we're going to do our Thaumcraft stuff. I wanted to do this a little bit away from our main base just to be safe. You can see we've got some flower pots out there. So with our wand made, we're going to use the bookshelf that we went to all that trouble to make. And why the heck not? I'll just slap it down right there. And of course later on I can probably add bookshelves to the surrounding area just to make it look cool. So we have our bookshelf, we're going to take our wand and just right click on it. And we get ourselves our Thaumanomicon. Now, you can see that basically this is set up a lot like your achievement, Minecraft achievement list. And pretty much works the same way, except this tells you what items you can make because these are the items that you've actually researched. And you can see I've obviously researched nothing because I'm just getting started, but there's a few basic things that that everyone starts with. It's why we can make wands and Thaumanomicon and these other items that we're going to need to get started with our fun career as alchemists and thaumaturges. Thaumaturge is probably a better word for it. Because, I don't know, I always think of equivalent exchange as more alchemy, and this is more thaumaturgy. Ooh, fancy. Okay, so I'm actually going to use our wrath lamps. The whole reason why I wanted to make these was because I wanted to light up this place a little bit differently. I didn't want to use torches, I didn't want to use red power lighting here. So I decided I wanted to use wrath lamps. And I'm not entirely sure. How about right there? That looks kind of neat. Yep, you can see the wrath lamps actually light up quite a large area. I'm actually not sure how to get this thing off the ceiling. I'm not sure if I want this here. Okay, there we go. And it will darken fairly quickly. Yeah. How about right here? How's that sound? You can see it, like I said, it lights up quite a big area. And it's probably going to provide us just enough light. We might need another wreath lamp up here, but I want to save this other one for downstairs, particularly since it's getting on into the night. I'm not entirely sure where we want to put this thing. I kind of like the central. Actually, I kind of like the idea that this central stump is sort of the axis of this building. So if this was facing the west, or we would be facing the east when we put it on there, it would be on this side. So no, it's going to be on So we can't put it there because then we'll hit our head when we try to go upstairs. So I'm being very, very picky is all. Give me a second, I'm going to try to figure out where I want to put this, and I'll be back when I'm ready to move on. Alright, I'm back, and you can definitely see I am watching something I'm setting up here. Currently terrified that this is going to cause some major problems, but thus far it's not caused any fires. As you can see, I'm using basalt brick here, and this goes pretty far down. It's almost like a little chimney. And I'll show you guys why I did this as soon as I head downstairs. I definitely made a trip back to the factory, and I picked up a few things. And by a few things, I mean a lot of things. And here we go. So you can see I just basically picked up a little bit of a bunch of just random materials. There was one I forgot, namely it was glass, so I'm going to have to go back and do that later. But basically I want to move right along with setting up our initial Thaumcraft stuff. I'm not going to do a lot of the researching of things on camera, as I want to leave that to you guys, but I definitely want to show you guys how to at least get started so you can begin your careers as thaumaturges and have a lot of fun experimenting and learning all this tree. Interestingly enough, there are hidden recipes and hidden researches that are not on this tree right now, so experiment and have fun. So the first thing I'm going to make is I'm going to make ourselves a crucible, and to do that we're going to need a cauldron, which is a fairly standard little vanilla item. Should look something like this. Boom. And so we're just going to go ahead and take this upstairs and get this onto our little lava pool. Still no fires. Excellent. So we're just going to slap that down right there, like I said, right on top of the lava pool. And right now it's not doing a thing, but if we whack it with a wand, ta-da, it becomes our crucible. Now the reason you can use lava or fire underneath here, but you definitely need to have one or the other, because when we put water into this thing, it will heat up after a few seconds. You guys can watch it. You'll notice it start to bubble. Come on, start bubbling. There it goes. And once it starts to bubble, you know it's ready. Now, like I said, I think it's going to be okay. I think with the crucible on top of it, we're going to also avoid the little visual embers that fly out of it from time to time, which might actually be also helping make it safe. So there's our first bit of Thaumcraft thing. Obviously we can't really do much with this at the moment as we haven't really researched anything. But if we get downstairs, we can go ahead go ahead and make ourselves a couple of things to help us out. So let's just grab ourselves a bit of wood, and we're going to need, a couple of those. Let's do one more stack of them. Let's see. And okay, so if we do this, kind of wish I'd made this into a project table. We're going to make ourselves little tables, and I think ultimately we're going to want, I wish this was a project table. I want to say we want 3 because we're going to need one for our arcane work table and one for our actual little research table, which is this. So we're going to need 2 for the research table. So once again, something like that will give us tables. Cool. Now these tables actually do look pretty cool, so if you just want to use them for decoration, by all means, have fun. So I'm going to put my research desk right here, as that seems like a good spot for that. And I'm going to put our... not sure where we want to put our... I kind of think we want to put all our actual working stuff up here. So I'm just going to put it right... Actually, let's take a look at our Thaumanomicon real quick. Yeah, okay, so if we take our wand and whack this, you'll see, boom, it changes into a nice little work table. Cool. Now we're not going to use this just yet, as again, we haven't really researched anything, so we don't really know how to use this table yet. And by we don't know, I mean we physically don't know, and our little character in the game doesn't know. So all this done, I'm going to have to wait till morning, and I'm going to have to head back to the factory to grab a couple more things, namely glass, so that we can make, so we can keep moving right along with our Thaumcraft stuff, trying to basically get everything up here made. So I'll be back in just a short little while. Alright, so I'm back, and you guys can see it is day, and I'm back at the factory, and I realized we didn't have any feathers, and while I was thinking about not having feathers, I thought we'd explore over here. This is a dungeon that is added by Thaumcraft, and since we're playing around a little bit with Thaumcraft, I figured, why not play around with this? You can definitely see we got monsters spawning, and I didn't actually mean to break through the floor there. Let's put this bit of mossy stone back, shall we? Whoa, that is a wisp. Those things are not pleasant. They hurt, actually, quite a bit. Kind of afraid to go in there for fear of dying. There's a pig in here. Ow. Hide behind these pillars from the wisp. And the wisp is dead. And we're getting attacked by a skeleton. That doesn't help that it's very, very dark in here. It's not the best for YouTube. So let's just toss some torches in here. Looks like there's an Enderman playing around here at one point. But yeah, you can see there are a couple of mob spawners in here. We'll just light those up for now. I actually don't think I want to break them because there's a mod that we have installed that can actually make pretty good use of that stuff. So let's just try to get down here to fight these guys. And there we go. Cool. That wasn't so bad, right? Just light this area up in here. And oh, nice. Thaumium, gold, diamonds. I'm liking this already. A bronze pickaxe. There's some pretty good stuff in here. Some bones, ooh, and some knowledge fragments. Those are also very good. More Thaumcraft stuff. Awesome. I like this place. So yeah, just a little bit of a dungeon. You can find these in your world. They're sort of scattered randomly about. And that's pretty much all there is to them. I think they usually have some kind of Thaumcraft wisp in them. I've seen before. Every one I've seen has had some wisps in it. So I'm going to cover this back up just because that looks cool. So that done, I'm going to go back to my hunt for chickens, and I'll meet you guys back at the Thaumcraft tower. Alright, I'm back, and I actually decided to go ahead and move all my stuff down here because there's a bit more room to work, and yeah, mostly there's a lot more room to work. And I like having space, so I think this is good and set up, so we're not going to blow up or anything here. That was not where I wanted to put that, which means I lost my lava source. Okay, apparently I'm going to have to go find a new lava source. I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, I'm back. Let's hopefully try not to do that again. Need a little back block here temporarily. Let's do it this way, just so we don't catch the world on fire. There we go. Cool. And that should be set up perfectly. I think that'll be a good spot for it. We're also going to need some kind of infinite water source. And I'm thinking maybe here. We'll just dig down like so. Let's use a different color wood. How about we've got some spruce. Let's just do that. Not exactly sure what would be the best way to get under here. There we go. That'll do. It's not exactly what I wanted to do there. Let's see. There we go. That's more. That's more the direction I wanted it to face. Why did you do that? Come on. Should. I am basically right underneath it, so it should just... Oh, it's just being pesky. Okay, let's just do it this way if it's gonna be like that. We'll put this under here first. That'll do. Yeah, okay. I'll tidy that up, make it look a little better later. Mostly just want to get this thing sort of fully functioning. There we go. A little bit of wood there. Now, I'm gonna need to go find some water. I think there's some nearby-ish. It's pretty much on the other side of all of this mess, though. Unless there was some water along the path. I know there was a big, like, waterfall over here, but I don't know if there's actually any lakes. Because there's the waterfall. Let me take a minute here to go look for some water, and I'll be back shortly. Alrighty, we are back, and went ahead and got my water. I pretty much just went down to where our mining tunnels are, and picked that up, so cool. So now we have water, and like before, we can put water in our crucible, and it'll start to bubble, eventually. There it goes, cool. Okay, so now, where did we leave off before this whole mess of moving stuff around? Ah yes, I believe it was making... We needed glass, and we needed clay, and we needed our ink sac. So, now I should probably also grab... I think I put our Thaumcraft in our canvas bag. Let's take a look. Yes, we did. Cool. Alright, so let's take a look at our Thaumcraft. What we're trying to make here is we're trying to make our research table, of course, and to do that we're going to need scribing tools, and to make those we're going to need a glass bottle, a feather, and an ink sac. So apparently we can also use glass files. So why don't we go ahead and make a glass file, or glass bottle rather. It's pretty simple. I believe if we take one of these and put... That's not how that works. Let me take a look. I think it might be in our Thaumcraft. It is. Okay, so it's... We gotta start out by putting the little stopper on top. Why don't we do that? Because we get a lot more bang for our buck there. We get 8 glass files, and unfortunately they don't really look different than our glass bottles, but that's okay. I'm gonna use up our glass bottles first because, well, they're there. So one of these, with some ink and a feather, of course, will give us scribing tools. Pretty simple. Now we can just take our scribing tools, and we see this double table we set up here. Now, is this where we want this? Yeah, that'll do for now. If we want to move it later, we certainly can. So, there we go. And now we have ourselves our research table. Now this thing looks pretty complicated, but it's actually not too bad. It's got a couple different modes. It, of course, needs paper right here to run properly. It's got two modes, cursory and thorough. I believe thorough has a higher chance of figuring out what the symbols for whatever you're researching are, but will consume more of your materials, whereas cursory will do the opposite. You'll save a little more materials, but it'll take longer to figure out what the symbols are. I pretty much just like to go thorough because that's just the kind of guy I am. Now, of course, I would completely not have any paper here. So let me grab some of that, and then I'll show you guys initial research, but again, I'm not going to show you guys much, because part of the fun of Thaumcraft is just sort of exploring the research yourself. So I'll be back in a second. Alright, I'm back, and definitely managed to get an arrow in my head for my troubles. So we're just going to get ourselves a good amount of paper, because, well, we're going to need it. And something like that. That'll do. Might as well just get a bunch of paper and leave it here because we'll always have use for it here. So let's take our paper, toss it into our desk, and you can see nothing happened. Well, the reason for that is in order to research you need to grab a couple items, and I'm going to start out with a bit of, let's say, redstone and a bit of coal. You can see if you hold down your shift button, you can sort of see what the symbols are that each of these items actually produce. You can see redstone produces this gear stuff. Obviously this stuff all has names, but you can't see it until you actually are in the research table. It produces the gear and a little hand with lightning in it, and then the coal produces fire and the hand with lightning and the rock. Again, these all have little names, and I'll actually use them when we take a look at them, but yeah, there you go. That's the basic idea. I'm trying to figure out if we have anything. Actually, we do. We've got torches. Cool. So, one of the first things you're going to research, this is the only one I'm going to show you guys. It's pretty simple. Basically what you can do is you can put however many of an item you want, and you can put different items in. It's up to you. Basically, you got up to 5 different slots, and here it will actually show you what these symbols are that each of these items produce. You can see redstone produces 2 potentia and 2 machina. Again, and you can see potentia is typically involved with power, energy, or strength, and machina relates to things like mechanism, machines, and devices. So this is how you can also kind of figure out, okay, sort of use your intuition to figure out if you want to research a particular thing, what potential different combinations of these things do you think would go into that, and that should lead you at least to the start of figuring out some of your research. So we're just going to research this one bit of redstone. You can see we now have research notes for an unknown theory. This means we are in the middle of researching something, but we don't know what it is yet. Obviously it's complete gibberish. We have to translate it. And we don't even know what the first ability it's sort of trying to research is, because it's unknown, obscured. So basically, once you get that, you know you're kind of on the right track. So you want to just kind of keep going. Okay, so finally we've put in enough redstone and researched it enough to realize, okay, whatever we're researching right now requires potentia. So now anything with potentia that we put in here will further along this research. Let's try a little bit of coal and see what that does. Okay, obviously whatever we're researching also has something in it that coal provides, either fire or rock, probably. Let's try to put in another coal. There we go. Whatever we're researching, we're getting closer. Obviously now we can see we've apparently learned enough that we're researching something called nitor. So you can see in our thing, I believe the red one is nitor, if I recall. So let's keep researching. And every time we do this, you can see each of these is getting closer and closer to being completed. So now our ignis is complete. We still need a little bit of potentia. So let's try a bit more redstone. Okay, so now we know there's some other ability, or some other aspect here, is what they're called, that we haven't yet discovered. So I'm going to keep putting in Potentia because that's not quite ready. Okay, that's done. And we still don't know what this is. What could this possibly be? Well, let's try something else. Obviously, there's not really much else that these two items actually provide. The only thing it could possibly provide are the Machina and, I believe, Saxum. And neither of those appear to be working, so let's try something else. How about torches, which produce lux, or light, brightness, and day. Okay, that didn't do anything. Let's see. Let's see if we can't find a bit of a clue. This glowing flame seems to be fueled by magic itself. The number of uses for an ever-burning flame seems endless, but unfortunately it doesn't seem to produce much heat, though it could prove to be a steady source of light and energy. There we go. Finally, it managed to realize, okay, light is involved. I mean, I figured light had to be involved because it references light when we look at it. So let's just keep researching this until it's done. And you can see all three of the aspects are lit up, and our research notes became a discovery. And if we take a look, cool. So we can pick it up, and just like a map, we can read it. And if we right click, boom, we researched Nitor. This is how all the research works. So now you can see Nitor is now no longer flashing. It says it's complete, and we've moved one step along the path for our Thaumcraft research. So that's the basic gist of it. So you basically want to just work your way through the tree, experiment outside of the tree a little bit if you like. There's like I said, lots of hidden stuff all over the place. There's lots of room, so you can tell that was the intention, was to have sort of hidden recipes. So yeah, play around with it. I'm gonna do some research off camera and see where we are and where we want to go next. So I'll be back in a bit. Alright, taking a look at our time and where we are, I think this is probably about where we're going to call this episode, as we've got pretty much done a good job getting our Thaumcraft stuff set up. I think next episode I'm probably going to do a bit more research on this Thaumcraft off camera. If I discover anything cool that will sort of lead us to developing some more Thaumcraft stuff, we'll probably do that. But if not, well, we might move into, I don't know, we might move towards some industrial craft or something. I'm kind of enamored with this at the moment, so I think I might try to get something cool to show you guys some more Thaumcraft next episode. So until then, I believe this has been episode 12 of DarkDragoon's Feed the Beast Modpack Let's Play Season 2. Hope you guys enjoyed watching, and stay tuned next episode. Catch you guys later.